Hello there and welcome to the video. I hope you're having a good day. Today I'm going to show you how I built 3 mobile suits from the WitchFromMercury in Gundam Breaker 4. First we've got the Demi Barding, then we've got the Dilanza Sol, and finally we have the Zowort Heavy. So we'll get straight into the Demi Barding. This suit appears throughout the series, but it's most notably shown at the end. It basically becomes a glorified transport shuttle. It is piloted by Choo Choo. I think that clip says everything you need to know about Choo Choo. So for the head I'm using the Grimoire red beret piece, and you'll see later on with the builder's part that it works quite well. For the body on this one I used the Gundam, as it's from the WitchFromMercury. It kind of uses the same design language, which helps a lot. We do make this unique by adding a grenade launcher arm piece, which you'll see me do quite a bit. For the legs and arms I just tried to find something that matched closely. They're not perfect, but they'll do. And for the backpack I used the 00 Razor. It isn't perfect and it doesn't have the cool gimmick that it has in the show, but aesthetically it matches. With the builder's parts it makes it look the part a little bit more. I also use the Manifa bit parts to represent the thrusters on the sides of the legs. And then finally, the last builder's part, we add the blade antenna to the top of the head just to finish it off. So now we move on to the painting. Here you'll see I coat the whole thing in the primary colour. This just helps me make it look a little bit more cohesive and make it so I can point out the details a bit easier. I'll generally only use 3 or 4 colours, much like a Gunpla kit straight out of the box. If you need to pause at any point for the colour values here, you can do, although some of them may be just standard colours that you should already have. In some cases we can use patterns to bring out even more detail. In this case I used the stripe pattern to create a light for the chest. And here's the completed Demi Barding. Next we'll take a look at the Dilanza Sol. These are shown quite a bit on Earth at the start of the series. It's quite a tragic scene later on with Guustavv and his father. As it's made by the same manufacturer as the Garibaldi, it shares a lot of similarities in looks, so luckily I can use the head and the chest again. I used the Kabakali arms. to get those big shield pieces. The dome choke and legs add much needed bulk. And for the backpack, I'm using the hammer to represent the missile pods that it has on its back. So we're making the head look a bit more unique by filling in the hole and adding the extra sensor units on the top. Because we only have 8 builders parts, we have to really pick and choose what we want to use. In this case I decided to define the legs a little bit more, just to make it more representative of what I was going for. So we move on to the painting now. And again I cover it in one primary colour. Sometimes it's hard to see what it's going to look like until you get the final paint on there. So we're moving on to the final of the 3, the Zowort Heavy. This is my favourite of the 3, and it also reminds me of the Jester and the Greys. Now unsurprisingly I do use the head for the Jester and the Grey's body in this one. I went for the lupus arms on this one as it's got that droopy long arm look, much like an armoured core. The shoulders aren't perfect, but I think the arms themselves work enough to make it work. I've been wanting to use the Gabara Tetra legs for something, and I think they fit pretty much perfectly here. The feet could be a little different, but we can't have everything. A key part of this one is the the Zowort backpack. I positioned it up higher to give it that bulky back. The mother funnel is probably one of my most used parts in all of Gundam Breaker 4. It comes in use for all sorts of random things. Here I'm just creating a whole new shape for the chest, just with 2 of them. As with the other 2 sets, trying to make the head a bit more unique. In this case, I'm using these rocket launchers to represent what I assume are Vulcans on the side of the head. Finally, we add the weapons onto the back. The missile piece actually took me a long time to get it positioned correctly. Eventually got it correct. And then we add the giant beam cannon onto the back. So for this one I created a custom green, and again I coated everything in the primary colour. Then we just use some standard grey colours just to add the details. If you watched all 3, let me know which one is your favourite in the comments below. And if you did make it to the end, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a good rest of the day, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.